Hey, how you doing? And welcome back. So, you want to know the difference between Git and Perforce? Let's get started. The biggest difference between the two is that Git is distributed and Perforce is centralized. When using one or the other, that is the main concept you need to consider in order to figure out how to use and troubleshoot them both. The best way to explain this is by describing the high-level overview of their workflows. For starters, Git and its distributed workflow looks like this. When the user clones or pulls from the remote server, they'll get everything in that repo. That includes branches, tags, the files, and all of their revisions. This essentially makes your local copy the server, as you can make changes, update tags, create new branches, etc., whatever you want, without ever having to deal with anyone else until it's time to commit. Then, when you finally push it to the remote server, all of those changes will now also live there and be pulled out by other people on your team. With Perforce, also known as P4, when a user syncs, they only get one revision of each file in the stream, usually the latest revision. If the user wants to edit anything that isn't a file, such as making a new branch, depot, or stream, tagging or labeling, etc., they'll have to do that directly on the server itself, and it will have an immediate impact on the team. When the user wants to make a change to a file, they'll need to check out that file for edit, make the change, and then when it commits to the server, they'll lose that checkout and the changes will now be available for anyone on the team. On a side note, with Perforce, it is ideal to submit small and submit often. Don't hold on to large changes because you may bog down merges and integration. Now that we know what the workflows are like, you're probably wondering why they are so different. Offhand, the Perforce workflow seems to be slow and cumbersome. But what Perforce excels at is dealing with large and binary files. With Git, when you pull down or clone a repo, you will download all the revisions of every large file that has been submitted. This can easily slow down any developer while they wait for the machine to finish grabbing those files. Git also runs into trouble when you try to merge binary files, as it becomes a game of which version is correct, and hopefully your changes don't get stomped. P4 will only sync one revision of each of those large files, which will speed up those syncs. To a point, if an art file is several gigs large, it's still several gigs large, but it's still faster than downloading every revision of it. Perforce also lets you lock files, which prevents anyone else from stomping over them. I can go on and on about differences between the two, but really you have everything you need already. Now you have the ability to adapt from one or the other. Both Git and Perforce have their place, and honestly, plenty of studios use both. For example, if you're in game development, your game code and your asset stuff will be in Perforce, while your backend code, your store, your microservices will all be in Git. At the end of the day, it comes down to what type of work and what product you are producing. If you find yourself confused about why one tool does something and the other can't, just think it through that the workflow for centralized versus distributed, and that should get you to the conclusion you need. Hey, please like and subscribe, and hopefully this helps. See you later.